Like on this side, maybe it's easier.
I'm just going to go around, I think, just to look at it, making sure. Okay. I like the way you just remove the head, totally clean killed, if I dare to say that. And you mentioned that was a Japanese technique, isn't it?
Ikijimi.
Ikijimi
Ikijimi.
is how you call it. It's just the
Ikijimi
idea.
will be a spike into the neocortex.
Right.
And because we don't want to do the spike into the neocortex, instead we tilt the head back.
Right.
And tilting the head back will cut his neocortex anyway. So it's equivalent of a Ikijimi, which means the fish die immediately without suffering and without spreading the cortisol, which is the stress hormones of the animal that we don't want to get into our food system. So by doing that, the cortisol is released out into the blood because the fish bleed out straight away.
And does it affect the flesh at all?
It doesn't at all, but it will affect your nutrition if you eat cortisol. So it's best to kill that way for all sorts of nutritional benefits mostly.
Okay, brilliant.
And now start cutting the fish. First cut will be with the tip of the knife running through the back, only down as far as the midline, and we release the first top out of the fish from the bone. Once that's done, we can look where the cut is, which is right onto the bone. And now with the tip of the knife we keep working our way down.
Okay, and also Antonio, just remind us why the flesh of the trout is actually white as opposed to what we used to, you know, that pinky kind of reddish. Is it something?
Pink reddish naturally in trout come from shrimps eating when they spend time at sea for the sea spawning season. Now trout cultivated in ponds wouldn't normally have any pigmentation, which is carotenoids. So therefore in trout raised in ponds, common aquaculture, it's added into the feed.
Okay.
Because we utilize organic feed for our trout, in organic farming, cosmetic treatments of the fish is not allowed, therefore a fish will be white, because the pigmentation is not necessary on a fish.
Okay, and that makes a far more succulent and clean test, isn't it?
It's clean because of the way we rear it. We don't have muddy pond, there's no silt, and there's no biological activity that degrades the fish quality and taste by tainting the flavor.
And self-contaminate also the
so
water.
the reason why most fish have that tainted flavor, it's one, because they live in filthy water, two, they're overpacked and overcrowded, just like battery cage farming, and three, they're not purged and completely clean before sale. Sometimes they're also actually sold with the guts still into them, which is, in my opinion, disgusting and should be avoided against even health and safety. Because the guts are the dirtiest part of the fish, the one that contains more bacteria than anything else. Why do you want to leave them in? A fish should be gutted and taken the gills out of the fish as soon as it's caught.
Okay.
So I wouldn't actually buy any fish that still has gills and gut into it.
Okay. So yeah. Well, nowadays, wow, I can't remember last time I saw. I mean, that fish was swimming literally 10 minutes ago. 15, okay. Look at the colour of the flesh. It's almost like a sea bass kind of colour and texture. And so I think that's, I mean, the way I like to eat it, maybe we just digged up some horseradish about half an hour ago. We're gonna, I think grated horseradish, fresh obviously, with a touch of lemon, perhaps, or vinegar, and some fresh herbs. You know, lemon basil we mentioned. That would be great. I think.
Lemon basil, horseradish,
wow.
baked trout.
My mouth is already watering.
And a little garden salad without tomato, cucumbers, sorrels, herbs.
Oh yes, sorrel and oh yes. Now we're talking. You see, trouts over the years has been, I don't know, totally used and abused in my opinion, and I personally never really been lucky with trout. I mean, the last good trout I had when I was a child, fished in the river. It was a wild trout, But farm trout, I've always been skeptical about it. Well, I can't wait to try this one because the flesh looks totally different to what I'm used to. It's good. Look at that. Look at that. And also, I must confess, it doesn't have a pungent smell
No, it doesn't
lingering
smell fish.
behind, isn't it?
There's
It's
no
just
smell of
very.
fish.
It's not smell.
Fresh fish doesn't smell.
Well, it does. I mean, yes, it's true. But I mean, some.
Only smell after a week.
Well, a trout from a pond, a muddy pond, would actually smell.
Yeah, you can still.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's true. But this one
Now,
has.
there is one big rule in food. You can smell it, you can taste it.
Yes,
If you can smell pond, you can taste a mouthful of muddy pond. That's what that trout is going to be.
They kind of reminds me carp.
Yeah.
Smelly pond and
Because they are filtered feeders at the bottom of the pond, so they'll be sieving through the mud continuously.
Yes,
Like
until the flesh we get.
Pig.
Until
Because the
flesh
reason
are
pigs
reflected.
gets a good flavour by hogging into soil all day, not the cow. I'm going to check the horseradish we just digged in, and this is where the horseradish patch where we extracted the rather large bulb out of the earth. Wasn't easy, but we did it, and this is the final result. There you go. I think we're going off for a few months here. So the best way we're going to do, we're probably going to give it a good clean and then grate it as they are. I'm sure with the trout that will be just amazing.